Today we had the first hearing of Richard Barnard's case. He's facing 3 different charges for 2 speeches he gave last October. One of those charges is Section 12(1)(a) of the Terrorism Act, which is inviting support for prescribed organisation, and 2 other charges for encouraging criminal damage against Israeli weapons factories under Section 44 of the Serious Crime Act.
Both of those charges are already defeated once and found not guilty by a jury of encouraging criminal damage. And obviously the terrorism charge is an overreach by the state trying to crack down. They've been quite obvious in the documents that they've put out there that it's because I'm a co-founder of Palestine Action.
They are wielding counter-terrorism powers in a bid to protect Israel's weapons trade. We discovered in court today that it was indeed the new Labour Attorney General, Richard Hermer, who had consented to these charges being brought against Richard.
We've seen it wider within the protest movement, especially for Palestine, that they are trying to use this as a form of intimidation and silencing for things that they have said. But thankfully, these attacks on us as a whole movement, however difficult they are for individuals, are not stopping people.
I thought I would struggle to say this, but I believe the new Labour government is actually worse. We have never been harassed using the Terrorism Act until the past month or 2 since Labour have come into power. So they have clearly shown that they are protecting the interests of a foreign genocidal entity over the rights and freedoms of their own citizens. Elbit Systems test their weapons on Palestinians. They are marketing their weapons as battle-tested, building them across this country, and they are complicit in arming a genocide.
We know from history that when you get close to victory, this is when the state crack down and means you need to not stop.
Our movement is growing day by day, despite the state's attempts to stop us. And we know that Elbit's days are numbered, and that's why they're ramping up the repression against Palestine Action, and also why they're targeting people like Sarah Wilkinson, Richard Medhurst, journalists, under this legislation. I also want to remind everyone that we have 16 political prisoners. Yes. 16 people from Palestine Action are in prison for trying to stop a genocide. We will not give in, we will not surrender, and Elbit's days in this country are numbered, and this trial and this prosecution proves that. Woo!